You're married.
We're married.
I'm a Miss Dooley.
Yeah, I'm a husband.
She married the man she loves. The wedding was gorgeous, the audience was crying, and somehow the internet still managed to turn Baylen and Colin's big moment into a debate over whether he is her husband, her caretaker, her babysitter, or even part of some reality TV PR strategy. And that reaction might say a lot more about the viewers than it does about this marriage. TLC made it official with the announcement that Baylen and Colin are now the Dooleys, celebrating their wedding during the season finale of Baylen Out Loud. In the image of the wedding, Baylen is glowing in an elaborate sparkling gown and tiara, Colin is beside her in a navy tuxedo, and the two are holding hands with huge smiles as a celebration unfolds around them. Nothing about that picture looks subtle. This is the full fairy tale reality TV ending, but the comments underneath it are where things get much more interesting. The overwhelming reaction was emotional. People said they laughed, cried, loved the vows, loved the father-daughter dance, and were genuinely moved by the relationship. One viewer said Baylen seemed overwhelmed during the ceremony, but that she and Colin got through it together, while another praised how safe and loved Baylen appeared with him. And that is important, because Baylen's Tourette's has never been something the show can simply edit out when the cameras want a perfectly polished wedding scene. The unpredictability is part of her reality, so when viewers watched her experience this incredibly high-pressure moment, many of them were not just watching a bride walk down an aisle, they were watching someone navigate excitement, nerves, attention, noise, cameras, family, expectations, and a condition that can become more noticeable under stress. That makes the wedding emotional, but here is where the conversation starts getting uncomfortable. A huge amount of praise was directed at Colin for being patient with Baylen and for loving every part of her. One particularly emotional comment described him as genuinely loving, patient, and supportive. That sounds beautiful. And it probably comes from a good place, but there is a very thin line between praising a supportive partner and accidentally acting like that partner deserves a medal simply for loving someone with a disability. Because Baylen is not a charity project, she is his wife, and Colin is not automatically some heroic saint because his wife has Tourette's. That framing becomes even more obvious when you compare the sweet comments with one of the harsher reactions, where somebody actually wrote that Colin was going to be babysitting for life. And there it is. That one sentence exposes the exact stereotype sitting underneath some of this conversation. Calling a husband a babysitter turns his adult wife into a child. It takes a romantic partnership and immediately creates this idea that one person is the responsible adult while the other person is a burden who needs managing. That is not just snark. That completely changes the way people view their relationship. And strangely enough, some of the overly positive comments can drift into the same territory without realizing it. When people constantly say, "Look how patient he is," or "Look how amazing he is for accepting her," the unspoken question becomes, accepting what? Baylen? Her tics? Her personality? The entire package? Because Colin did not marry Tourette syndrome, he married Baylen. And the healthiest thing about their public dynamic may actually be that they seem comfortable allowing the awkward moments to exist alongside the romantic ones. The wedding does not have to be flawless to be meaningful. Baylen does not have to suppress every tic to qualify for the princess moment, and Colin does not have to behave like some endlessly suffering caretaker to prove that he loves her. That's where this finale becomes more interesting than your standard TLC wedding. Reality television loves turning relationships into roles. There's always the responsible one, the chaotic one, the patient one, the difficult one, the caretaker, the person who needs saving. Those labels make storytelling easier, but real marriages are rarely that simple. And while most viewers were celebrating, at least one commenter openly wondered whether the relationship could somehow be for PR, saying they hoped Colin genuinely loved her. Now, there's no evidence in these materials proving that accusation, and that distinction matters. Suspicion is not proof. Reality TV audiences become trained to distrust everything they see because we know scenes are produced, edited, promoted, and packaged for maximum emotion. But sometimes a wedding can simply be a wedding. What's fascinating is how quickly viewers start searching for the trick. Is he too patient? Then maybe something is suspicious. Is she too emotional? Then maybe she cannot handle marriage. Is the wedding too beautiful? Then maybe it's just television. At a certain point, there's no version of the relationship that satisfies everybody. And perhaps the strongest receipt here is actually the audience response itself. People were crying, people were laughing, people were talking about the vows, people were talking about the father-daughter dance, people were congratulating them, and people were already asking whether another season is coming. That means TLC accomplished exactly what a reality TV finale is designed to accomplish. They made viewers emotionally invested in what happens after the fairy tale, because getting married is the easy ending for television. Being married is where the real story begins. The question now is whether Baylen and Colin can continue showing their relationship without allowing the audience or the show itself to reduce Colin to the patient husband and Baylen to the wife with Tourette's. Personally, I think that will be the real test. Not whether Colin can handle Baylen, not whether Baylen can behave perfectly, but whether they can remain two adult equals while millions of strangers keep trying to assign them roles. So where do you land on this one? Do you think viewers are simply celebrating a genuinely supportive husband, or has some of the praise crossed over into infantilizing Baylen without people even realizing it? Tell me which side you're on in the comments, and if you want more reality TV receipts without the sugarcoating, like the video and subscribe to Truth Talk Tribe.